Hello everybody, welcome back. So in this video I will show you how I did my multi-zone thermostat in Home Assistant using NodeRed and also some YAML configuration and so on. So our needs are really simple. We have a bigger apartment. There are 4 rooms which we want to control the temperature in, and also 2 bedrooms, another small location which we don't care about. And the main purpose of this was to be able to control the temperatures in each room differently, because currently we are only 2, and of course we are not staying in the same rooms all the time, or we leave the house and so on, so you will understand the logic. And the problem was that not all the radiators in the rooms are I mean, it could be that they are well calculated. The problem is not all the rooms are the same size, and they will not get to the same temperature in the same time. So we will have really big, I mean 2, maybe even 3 degrees differences between the rooms if we have a thermostat only in one of them. So I believe many of you who find this video are having the same issues or the same problems. So first of all, let's start with the components. Really simple. We have Aqara temperature sensors. They are Zigbee temperature sensors and batteries. They are mounted on the door frames, like 1.5 meter in from the ground. Now my neighbors are working something, probably you will hear it. We have the same in the bedroom, and that's pretty much around the house, mounted at the same height in different positions in those rooms where I thought they will be fine and they will measure the correct temperature of the room. Okay, so these are the sensors. After the sensors, we have 4 Sonoff minis, Zigbee, and I managed to mount all 4 of them into a fuse box like this using some printed mounts, 3D printed. I bought them somewhere, I didn't make them myself. So here we have 4 Sonoff Zigbees and for 4 temperature zones that we want to control. For us it's enough if we can control in 4 places. And of course we have a distributor with 4 thermostatic motors or thermostatic valves, how you call them. And I think these ones are from Salus originally, but they are rebranded Romstal, but it's the same thing. And we see we have the 4 zones here. So we have, I think this is kitchen, the bedroom, which is working now, if you can see it. Oh, so something happened to the light here. It's back now. It's triggered by a motion sensor. Okay, so we have the bedroom working, and we still have the living room and the small office. And we have another 2 circuits going to the 2 bathrooms that are always on. These 2 we are not stopping. So this is something that you need to have in mind in the automation. We will explain it later. And we have 1 circuit that is not used. It was extra. And why we have a distributor with 4 and 3 exits and not one with 7 is a different story, but we do not go in that one. Okay, so this is a distributor that normally is used for floor heating, but in this case we use it for radiators. It's rated up over 70 degrees, I think 80-90 degrees, but we will never get the temperature. We have the temperature of the heating agent, the water in this case, at 55 degrees because it's a condensation boiler, and we don't really want to go over that. I think it's 53 in this case. and we don't want to go that over that temperature because the boiler will not condensate anymore if we go above that temperature. And again, the light is off. Let me try to trigger it. Okay, so this is pretty much for the components. We are using here the Zigbee stick that I made in my previous videos. You can check it out if you want. And here at the boiler we have a manual thermostat and also this dry Zigbee relay that I made in another video. You can search for that also. So everything I made is getting used here. Yeah, this is a dry contact, this is also a dry contact, so in case that something fails, these two are connected together, so we can start the boiler either from this. Now this is set to a really low temperature, so it will not trigger, but when it's needed we can raise the temperature here and it will start the boiler. Right now the boiler is stopping, and at the distributor we can start the Zigbee minis by hand, pushing the buttons, and they will open the valves. And also I still have the locking for those valves, so we can push them in and the valves stay open all the time, and we can control the temperature from here if something would happen with this automation. Yeah, so we have some kind of system in case something happens with all these smart devices. Okay, so let's take a look at the configuration of how we did this. So firstly, we will go to our main configuration file, and here we added input boolean for all the thermostats, and we will control these booleans instead of some switches. You can also add them from helpers, but at this time, at the time I did this was the way to do them, and it's working fine, so I never changed them from here. And we also added the thermostats right into a different directory. We can see here that climate is include directory list thermostats, which we do have a directory here called thermostats, and this is why it's a directory list, because all my thermostats are in different directories. I don't know why I did this. Anyway, at that time this is how I did it, and this was, I think, almost 2 years ago, and I didn't deploy Home Assistant since maybe 2 months. Okay, so here is the platform, the generic thermostat, which you can add from the Home Assistant website. You will find the configuration there. And for the target sensor, of course, we have the Zigbee sensors from Aqara, and for the heater, or for what we are switching on or off, we have the boolean. We don't have a switch because we want to make an automation from this boolean. It's easier to do it because we have to switch on also the valves, but also the boiler, so it's easier to control a boolean than a switch from here, and based on the state of the switch, control another switch. In my head this made more sense. Sorry. So we will go, all the automations are made in NodeRed, and I know it looks a little bit challenging, and sometimes I also have to think of what I did here, but it's working fine, and it's, let's say, I think it's a really safe solution like this. There is almost zero chance of starting the boiler without starting one of the valves, and this is very important when you mount valves on all your radiators, on all your circuits, because the boiler will not, the boiler's pump will not have where to circulate the water if all the radiators are closed. In my case, we have two of them opened in the two bedrooms, so in my case it's not a problem, but at that time I didn't know if I wanted to control the temperature in the bedrooms or not, so I included this anyway in the logic. And for each 4 zones we have the same automation. Of course, the entities here, or the booleans and switchers, are changing to what is relevant for that room. Okay, so let me enlarge this a little bit, and I hope I can explain this now. First of all, let's get these 2 delays out of the way, because normally if you have open radiators you don't really need these delays, but I already have them included, so I just reduced the duration of them. And the first delay that you need to think about is the time for the valve it takes to open fully. And this is important if you close all your circuits, because the valve needs to be opened 100% when the boiler is starting. So yes, you need to have this delay set. Okay, let's say the valve is opened in 2 minutes, so set it to 3, just to be sure. And also the first delay is actually delaying the start of the sequence, in case somewhere here in the another automation this delay is already active. So I had this problem before adding these delays, that if you would try to start 2 or 3 of these thermostats at once, or switch off one before the other one switched on, it would get all kind of crazy things. One would switch off, the other on, so it was a mess. And I somehow found out is because this automation is always checking the states of the other rooms. And let's say if here we are still in the delay, and in this automation we are reading that this is off, it will send us on a different logic, but this will be on in a short time, but it's still in delay. So I had to add a delay here at least, and I recommend you adding just to be sure 2 minutes above the biggest delay you have here. So you have, let's say in your case you have 3 minutes here, add 5 minutes here, just to be sure that everything that is delayed inside the automation has time to go through until the next automation starts the logic. I hope it's clear. If not, you can ask me in the comments. Okay, so these are the 2 delays, and now it's clear for why we have this. And we also have a delay here on the switch off, and this is the same. If we switch off the central heat and we do not require heat anywhere else in the room, then first we will switch off the boiler, and we will wait until the boiler switches off. I think 2 minutes is enough. My boiler stops the pump about, let's say, 30-40 seconds after it stopped the burning process, and only after that you switch off your valves in case you close all your circuits. So just be sure that the boiler is stopped before switching off the valves. Anyway, the valves will take some time to close, and even without this delay I think you are safe. So the boiler will probably be stopped by long before the valve is closed. Okay, so let's go through. So here in this node we are listening to, like I told you, we are using the input booleans. that we are controlling by the thermostats. And when this boolean changes state from off to on or on to off, this node is listening to this, and that's when the sequence will get started. And next we will go through this. We already talked about it. So here we have a switch node which decides which message was received from the boolean. Is the boolean on or off? To which state it changed, from on to off or off to on. So if it changed to on, that means that we want to heat the room. Yes, we will go and we will check the state of the valve for that room, because sometimes in power outages, if something happens, these Zigbee relays will go back to initial state. So if the heating was on before the outage, it will be on when the power comes back. And if it's already on, there's no reason to switch it again on. It's enough to start only the central heat, but we will get to it. So we will check the state of this switch, of this valve, and if it's on, then we will do nothing because it's on. And this means that something else is on, and it really could be that the central heat is already on. So in this case we will do nothing. We prefer to feel a little bit colder if something is not okay in this automation than to damage some parts. And the parts that get damaged is the pump or from the boiler. We cannot damage anything else, and we prefer not to do that. Okay, but if it's off, we will go on this logic now. So if it's on, we do nothing, we wait, and this is how I thought it out, and it's working fine. We didn't have yet any situation that this here was a problem. So if the state is on, we do nothing. If the state is off, we will call service, yes, and we will turn on the switch or the valve. In this case, we will have a delay of 2 seconds or 2 minutes until the valve opens. In my case, we don't care about it. You should have this delay if all your circuits are closed. And then we will go and check the state of the other rooms, because we want to see what the other rooms are doing. For me, in my head, it's important. So we will check the state of the bedroom, of the kitchen, of the small room or the office, of the living room, and finally I will check again the state of the valve from the room that I want to heat, because maybe something happened in the meantime and now it's off. So now if it's off, it will go back to the start of the sequence, yes, right through here, and then it will come through this node and it will turn on, and it will go on this logic through the end. Okay, so we will, in these 4 nodes, we are checking the other rooms, what they are doing. And of course, in this switch, if the bedroom is off, yeah, we go to the kitchen, we go to this one. If all of these are off until here, and we still require heat in the living room, yes, because the living room is on, then we will again check the state of the valve to make sure that it's on, and after that we will check the state of the boiler, yes. If the boiler is on, then we don't have anything to do. That means we will get heat anyway in the room. But if all other rooms are off and the boiler is off, we will start the boiler. From here, the other switches, if already one of these rooms are on, then we can again check the straight, go to the central heat state, and if it's on, then we do nothing. If it's off, we will switch it on. So basically we are checking the state of each thermostat, and also we are double checking the valve, the state of the valve, and only after that we are deciding to turn on the central heat if it's off. If it's on by any other room from here, then we will not send a double command to the same switch to switch the heater on again, the boiler, because it's already on. So it's some kind of safety measure and to avoid double commands. In my case, because I don't think it will damage something, but I'm trying to make it work as best as I can. Okay, so the next scenario is when the state goes to off, and again we will check the states of the other thermostats, the other input booleans in this case, and if the bedroom is on, then we do not want to switch off the central heat, we only want to switch off the valve. If the kitchen, if it's the bedroom is off, we will check the kitchen and so on. If the kitchen is on, we only want to switch off the valve, not the central heat, and we will go through this logic. And if everything is off, that means we do not require the central heat anymore, the boiler anymore. We again check the state of the living. If it's on, then if in the meantime somebody raised the temperature or the boolean went to on, then of course we do nothing, because that means we require heating, and in this case this automation will stop here also, because the valve will be on. I hope that you can reduce these explanations from these nodes better than I can explain it. And if everything is off, then is no reason to leave the boiler on. We call service and switch off the boiler, and after a delay of 2 minutes, in your case, if all the radiators are closable, then you can switch off the valve itself. Well, I hope this explanation makes sense. It works, and because of the complexity in my head for this system to be fail-proof and work all the time and check all the status and not have double switching or any other kind of errors, I did this for all the rooms, so every room has the same logic. Of course, it relies on a different the boolean from the other rooms, and it goes through the same logic. Of course, the last part changes to the relevant parts change to relevant valves, but anything stays the same. So it checks, each automation checks for the states of each room, each thermostat, and so on. If you know a simpler way to do this, then go ahead. I spent a lot of time thinking about how to do it. I didn't manage to do this with automations at that time, with scripts. That's something from a sci-fi movie for me. So I'm not a programmer. I did this by my own logic and by my own knowledge, watching also, like you guys, YouTube videos on NodeRed, on automations, on I think a lot of YouTube hours on Home Assistant tutorials and so on. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I hope this helps. If you want, I can share this with you. I'm not sure how, but I will search it. Just let me know if you want this logics and you want to implement it. Then let me know, and I will search a way that I can send you these automations. Okay, thanks for watching. Sorry for the long video. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.